Protect your home from home. Simple Caravan Insurance, sponsors of the Caravan Channel.
These days, when you think about Bailey caravans, it's probably something like this that you think about, the Unicorn. This is the flagship of the Bailey brand. But it wasn't always like this. A decade ago, Bailey's flagship sailed under a different flag, and that's because in 2010 Bailey completely changed the way that they make their caravans, and as the vans changed, so did the names. But in the years BA, that's before Alutech, the Senator was the flagship, and if you bought a Bailey, then the Senator was the van that you aspired to. Lots of people did aspire to them, lots of people bought them, and now there are lots on the second-hand market. Let's take a look round a couple of these big Baileys and see how the years have treated them. By the end of their production run, there were 6 Senators in the range, and half of them tapped into the fashion for big fixed double beds, and that's a fashion that's never gone away. And this twin-axle Wyoming was arguably the most luxurious of all the Senators. And when this particular Wyoming was brand new, it was basking in the title of Tourer of the Year in the latest industry awards. Come on, let's take the tour. Outside, and this is clearly a large, imposing van. It's more than 26 feet long and tops out at a maximum weight of 1,657 kilograms. So an equally large, imposing tow car is needed. Right up front, there's an AKS stabilizer, and that grips the tow ball on the tow car and helps prevent snaking. But there are none of the electronic towing stability systems that you'll find on today's new Baileys. Stylistically, this van is understated and simple, with no exaggerated decoration or fussy decals, just some classy, dignified pinstriping, and the name, so that the neighbours know what you're packing. Inside, and the fabrics are, well, rather loud. You know, this pattern was actually an optional extra when it was new, so the original buyer actually chose this combination of stripes and spots and blues and browns. Well, there's no accounting for taste, eh? You know, the Senator always came in a range of 3 fabrics, and they changed down the years, but nearly all of them were, in my opinion, nicer than this one. But hey, if you don't like the pattern, shop around, there's loads of them. But I've always liked Bailey's choice of wood in their caravans. My own personal caravan is of the same era as this, and it has the same sort of honey-coloured wood. It's very classy. It's not a Senator though. Couldn't afford one. But, well, apart from the fabrics, I reckon maybe this is the van that I aspired to back then. How things could have been different, eh? 8 years ago, Bailey said that this was one of the most luxurious and well-equipped luxury touring homes available, and it's still very comfortable now. But, it's amazing how things change, you know. What seemed like great luxuries at the time, well, they're pretty standard now. Things like the alarm or the CD, FM, stereo radio. Whoa, stereo, eh? Cool. Up front, right under this front chest actually, is a large onboard water tank, and that's very handy, especially for winter caravanning, when, if you're unlucky, your outboard water tank can freeze solid, and you'll be kept nice and snug in here thanks to the blown air heating system, which is over here. Yeah, this system is rapidly being replaced on new vans with the Aldi wet radiator system, just like you've got at home. But this was always a very efficient way of keeping warm. Over in the galley, well, it's a pretty standard setup. 3-way fridge which runs on 12 volt, mains electric or gas. You got a big sink with an integrated drainer. You got a 4-burner gas hob and a separate grill and oven. Very useful. The lighting in here, well, as in the rest of the caravan, it's either old style incandescent bulbs or fluorescent tubes. And of course in a brand new van, you'd probably be looking at halogen or even LEDs. So here's the big fixed double bed. It's 6'4" by 4'6". And behind this door is the washroom, which houses a large shower stall all of its own. although some Senators of this vintage still had those combined shower and toilet setups, which I never liked. Blah. This Senator Wyoming Sleeps 4, but also on sale here at Reed's in Blackburn is a slightly younger Senator Carolina from 2006. This is the family van for the larger family, with a double bed up front, 4 bunk beds in the middle of the van, 2 of them are permanent, 2 convert into a side dinette, and the washroom is at the rear. Later, the Carolina's bunks were moved to the rear and the washroom moved round to the middle, and that layout makes more sense. So there you have it, a trip back in time to the pre-Alutech era. You know, these big Senators still have a lot of style and class about them, especially those big 4 berths, and especially the Wyoming. But then you've got to think about the prices. Less than 10 years old, and they've lost half the price that they were when they were brand new. You know, if you're looking for style and luxury on a budget, think Bailey and think Senator.